I mean, this is the tournament that's on everyone's minds at the beginning of the year. This is what players play for. This is what the entire year is about. And for one of these two teams, it ends today. Sentinels on the attacking side of Lotus. You've got Lakia, who's already taken a lot of space towards A. Now taking a step back, but otherwise, Dre, the map very quiet.
Yeah, it's so timid from both sides right now. No one wanting to make an early mistake. Very default play across the board. It's going to be a lurk smoke on C, putting doubt in the minds of Gen G, but Munchkin, he's getting ahead of that.
Yeah, a smoke out from Karon as well. The Prowler through, but you're right, Munchkin ahead of the line just a little bit. Getting enough info as to what's really going on, and you see, as we see the map kind of lean back towards A. A couple of members across the middle of the map. Locky is the first one to fall.
Yeah, he was the solo man there as well. It's all up to Karon here.
With a classic light armor, the wall will conceal their movements. As Texture tries to get a little active. Texture was an absolute demon the last two times these teams faced off.
Yeah, he absolutely shut Zekken out of the series. And he just shut down Celsius.
At least out of this round, Meteor with a nade and a flash at his feet will fall at the hands of Zekken. His TenZ looks to get a little bit more active, will connect onto Munchkin. Numbers the way of the attack in a massive amount too. And it's not getting any better for the #1 seed from the APAC. Zekken, unfortunately, he went -17 in the series against Gen G. Those demons are not that far behind him.
Will just be a C hit right off the rip, understanding that they have all gun advantage, all utility advantage, and it's going to be a clear retake from the side of Gen G. What can they really do? They only have a couple sheriffs on Meteor and Texture. And we've seen this post plant happen a lot from the side of Sentinels. They'll put this deep alarm bot in water with a molly. It's all to delay. And then they'll cycle smokes on default. This is so hard to break through. Zekken's having such a map already.
Dude, it's the second round, and he's already 1 point away from having his ult online.
And he's hungry. He wants more. Here it is. He gets that ultimate.
I mean, when you have that far of an advantage, you really want to push, and that's exactly what...
I will say, in the last series, we saw Zekken whiff a couple of those ultimates. So.
Yeah, think about that bind one, that sword right past Autumn, if I'm not mistaken. Seems like a lot of pings on the minimap towards B at the beginning of the round.
There.
Gen G seemingly wise to it. 3/5 of their team is posted up around here for now.
But the mid-rounding, Celsius, while all that front B pressure was happening, took all of C control. And he's farming up his own little orbs right here. Munchkin needs to be careful right here. If he gets carried out, yeah, that showstopper's going to do the damage.
And the thing is here, if you're Sentinels, you don't have to fully commit to this. It seems like they might, though. TenZ is already TP'd all the way across. You've got everything back sight, mowing over Gen G.
An absolute firing squad that Texture just ran into.
I mean, he swings, and it's the most terrifying thing you could imagine.
It was diabolical.
And so now, as the dust settles and as the rest of the round kind of comes to a close, you see Sentinels with a really big advantage here. They're up on numbers. You've got John, who's going to get a little bit closer to having his ult online. Zels is halfway to his. Money's in a really good spot. This is the Sentinels that was missing a couple of days ago. This was the Sentinels that was missing in the opening match of this tournament.
Yeah, missing in stage 2. Honestly, even in the playoff, they barely squeaked in. Celsius gets the quick
Find you. Still waiting.
See if he's able to replicate any of that success. Maybe that's the tipping factor here, because you see the buy. It's not great. 2 stingers and then sheriffs.
Bring them down.
For Sentinels, again, a slow start. Pretty metered, pretty tempered, if you will. Just kind of waiting to see if Gen G are going to get active, if they're going to try to take some space and throw something aggressive into the fold. And that's exactly right. You got the paranoia that's out, and they're going to give up some of the same main space, trade the paranoia of their own, but manage to get away unscathed.
Yeah, and the big thing here is that all that C control was already gathered. So there's 5 members here, and the rotations can't make it in time. Sentinels are aware of this,
Well,
but they're getting delayed.
You got to be careful here, too. There's a brutal crunch. Remember, Texture has his ult. But once again, fully sending out onto C. Saucy will be the first to fall as Munchkin manages to find 2 on the round. There's the ult popped as well. Not connecting onto anything, but Munchkin continues to farm. 3 on the round now. Oh, I thought he had fired it off already. Celsius falls on it. It's just John left in a 1v4, and they're weak, but not that weak. Big moment. So you knew it was going to happen. You knew it was inevitable. The question was when. And it just so happens that the stars aligned on the 4th round.
And they're also a team that takes a little bit to get going in series, I noticed. Sometimes, they'll go down I don't know, 4 or 5 rounds, and then they'll bring it all the way back and even secure out the map if that. But if not, they can reverse sweep at any moment.
Sure. Zekin already taking a ton of damage. Just off a spam through the smokes, 21 HP, no armor left to him.
These teams play at such a high level, both of them. It feels like we're truly watching like just a chess match right now, just a battle back and forth of the brains. Sentinels will take space here. Gen G will take space there. This tit for tat, blow for blow. The rotations being in full effect. Look, 3 members facing each other in front B. Both teams have such a good read on how each other play.
The spike is rotating back towards B. Both Paranoias have been traded. As of personnel on both sides.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. Both players have been traded too.
All of that KJ utility. Pop towards C. They have a decent idea that that's where the hit is, but with 30 seconds left, there's still a couple of options. And once again, 10's the tip of the spear, TPing forward. A little bit separated. How in the world does Meteor win that? Saucy with the swing on the trade. Nicely done. And now with 3v3. It's Texture creeping his way forward. The first to fight, the first to find a kill. Has this been the case? Instantly traded right back 2v2 now. Saucy has his eye. Lakia has no health left. It's Karen alone. He's been good. Head and shoulders above the rest. But can he deliver here? Against John QT, no, we cannot. Right, when Sentinels have been good, John has delivered. That's a big moment for him early on.
Getting your IG on the flow state can be a really big thing, especially early on. If he starts getting the kills, you get more confident in the calling, you start getting better reads.
Oh, they've got him figured out. They spotted him.
That was a tough one.
He was there in the previous round, too.
And Sentinels have a good idea of when a player's playing pushed up like that and they're solo to go through the door, the revolving door. No one has met them there yet.
The look back towards A. Texture getting through the ult. He's got a big timing here. A wide swing and 2 kills found. Again, heroics from Texture. But the counterpunch comes through at just the right time. Second down low, spotting one, trying to switch to the weaker weaponry and not finding a kill. Now 2v2, the pit invested 10s on the prowl. It's an alarm bot keeping him just a little bit further back. His Meteor waltzes into his death, right into the crosshair of the controller. Munchkin does the same.
And they're not really getting picked off early either, Doug.
Yeah, I think that's huge. That's part of the 4-round difference here. On the other side of the timeout, what are the adjustments? You've got 3 ults on the side of the defense.
Got 4 now.
Yeah.
That A-orb gathered.
Again, sweeping a little bit further. Munchkin clearing out the turret. And now the round ripe for reset.
Shadows traveling.
I mean, the approach from Sentinels on this attacking half has been so calculated, so methodical. They clearly do not want to give anything away early on to Gen G.
No. Remember, that's that lurk smoke on C that you mentioned at the beginning of the map, the pistol round one, but this one way just sucks to get through.
It's just going to keep on being cycled over and over and over. And I think this is going to be an A reclear into a B split potentially. That's why you see an alarm bot from Zelsis put all the way in the back of SC. Viper Wall gets baited out from the side of Sentinels, but a Prowler also out of the mix.
Sand in that hourglass continues to tick away. 30 seconds left in the round now as they've invested the lockdown. And now it's going to be traded back for another.
A big investment from Gen G.
With still a lot of time left to play in the round. The Prowler just got a little bit of info towards A. Second satchel forward and right into his death. Are they going to be able to navigate some of this? As Lakia is going to fall in exchange.
Look at the time, Doug.
They may have burned the candle down just a bit too low.
10 seconds left.
They're trying to get ahead of this, but the reinforcements are already here. Look at Munchkin's positioning. That's the plan stopped. That's John QT dealt with assassination style. The round will go the way of Gen G.
Maybe we're going to see a change of pace. Here it is.
Paranoia already out. The one-way goes up, but they're already past it at this point.
Lakia might get caught right here. He needs to be careful. Oh, that Viper Wall gets up right on time. Munchkin, good awareness in that moment. All that's happened. Yeah, Texture took this deep angle.
With the op, we haven't seen that yet. Saucy's aware of it now. Is he going to be able to get away? No, Zelsis chases him down.
Sentinels right now, they have no other choice. They kind of have to just hold W here. There's still 2 mollies they have to deal with. The showstoppers invested from Zekin. He gets shipped down very low.
He didn't have any satchels.
Yeah.
He couldn't go.
Will be a free site gathered. Spike should be planted unless spam.
I mean, it might be a free sight, but it feels like they're walking right into Genji's trap. Lakia has his ult. Smoke's already going through. Zekin getting a little bit aggressive, getting the best of Meteor, but again, still, that Nightfall in play, and there it is, right on cue, tapped. You've got John, who's playing his tight angle, managing to stay alive with the help of the nade, sure. Swinging out into Lakia, but not able to convert. He's now left in a 1v3. He's cutting his losses. He's tucking tail. He's getting out of there.
Yeah, he's got to save. What proactivity from Sentinels in that moment. Tens holding on to that paranoia, shooting it through water. Zekin getting aggressive in that moment. And amongst all the chaos, when the retake is coming through, when the flood is actually happening, Sentinels are peaking together. They're not sitting back waiting for the fight to come to them. They're picking really good opportunities to fight together. And the trades are going their way. Full confidence.
We're thinking and saying a couple of rounds ago, what is that smoke?
Very interesting. Maybe to hide from an aggressive haunt if there was an A fight to be in the mix.
Yeah, possibly.
And it was a fake TP going into a B hit, so they're trying to condition very small micro things. You have to do that when you're at this high of a level of play.
Zekin was too far out, Tens was too, Munchkin again, delivering. These are the big moments where Genji has their way with the opposition. They're yet to win a gun round, but it seems like they're going to here. Forget the Thrifties.
Oh my gosh, he went for more.
Just John QT and Saucy left. I don't know that they really have anywhere to go.
What a shot from Munchkin, that was disgusting. He's looking for more.
And remember, Munchkin was the hero in a couple of rounds ago, the first Thrifty round that they won. Delivering again.
Saucy might just opt to save. I mean, he's got $350 in the bank. Spike is definitely going to have members on it. Texture with that operator being one of them.
Yeah, I do want to go back to the value that Munchkin has been able to provide.
But he's one of those IGLs who, like you said, he's been doing it all year long. Such a big part of Genji's success this year. Such a big part of their consistency this year. Getting second, the first international, and then winning a championship, the second one in Shanghai.
A level of consistency that hasn't been rivaled really in the history of Valorant, but has the potential to get pushed here. Texture once again with the op. Looking for any skin, any blood, and nothing found. Oh my goodness. Better late than never, I guess. He's gonna get a third! Teeing off on set!
And ready to play, still sitting on that showstopper. Wow!
And now Meteor's joining in on the fun. This is the Genji that's terrifying! This is the Genji that wins championships!
Bomb grenade out.
And I said it, Doug. Genji are a team that tends to start off a little bit slow, but when they get warmed up, they're unbelievable.
One enemy remaining.
And yes, this is an eco round, but you know, we talk so much about confidence, we talk so much about momentum and how valuable that is. And again, this fight for a main continues to go the way of Genji. There's just not a lot that Sentinels can do to fight back.
I mean, that's one way to do it. Latvia gets taken out, but the showstopper,
It was short! Nipping at his heels, but not enough to get the kill.
oh my gosh.
John QT continues to dance with Daz, just looking for any sort of moment of respite to reload. Now back to full strength, continues to hit the spam, no targets found.
Sentinels don't want to let Genji come back into this round with a free pick. That's why they're grouping up. They're death balling right now.
And remember, Karen has had this aggressive angle. Many of the defensive rounds that they've played, are they expecting it here?
Even if they are, I mean, it's so tough. He's ahead of this sniper
so
wall.
far
Oh
ahead,
my
you're
gosh! What was that peek from Zekin, though? Instas, and they're just going to run through the door like they have been this entire time.
Perpendicular walls keeping these two teams apart as one of them goes down. Munchkin gets ahead of it. Second on the jump spot, they understand the threat that's on the other side, and now they decide to wait it out. They're beckoning the fight to come to them. Either you wait out the lockdown, or you fight us.
It got spammed!
Destroyed, and now Texture not able to hold the line, not able to keep up the resistance. The pit invested, Munchkin trying to trace over. Snaps back onto Munchkin, or onto Saucy, excuse me, but Meteor's left alone.
For blow this entire way through. everybody on both sides performing at the same amount. You see Texture and Zekken going head-to-head, same amount of kills. John and Munchkin, same amount of kills. It's poetic. Roll for roll. It's so equal.
Gen.G on the pistol, they're already farming the orbs into Laki's hands. Perhaps indicative of what's in store. Oh, a little bit of spam, Texture plucked. You know, you keep wondering, and you know, maybe this is kind of the feeling for most fans that are watching, is that I think there are a lot of questions around if and when Sentinels will crumble. When will they kind of fold under the pressure? Will that be the case? Doesn't seem like they're slowing down anytime soon. I will say they are taking a big step back on C this round. Gen.G have gotten out onto the site, but Sentinels have the numbers advantage. No paranoia to speak of, no smokes, nothing like that. But TenZ has a Sheriff and light armor.
Oh! Zekken also has a Sheriff to his name. Oh, but he's gonna get taken out right here. The proactivity in the post plant. Munchkin getting 2.
Not able to find safe passage, not able to get across. I cleared out, now without getting a tag. TenZ getting the best of Karan, and now Munchkin left alone, a 1v2. Difficult to win, but possible. Just not the case this time. Again, pistols were elusive to them. In their first matchup, that's now 2 for 2.
That was close as well. Munchkin, he did his damn best right by the side of Texture.
Such an abnormal purchase.
You also have a Marshall on the field for Meteor. It's a 5-man A.
On the attack side of Lotus, no less.
Yeah. Sentinels are aware now that the Vandal is in full effect. That room of being shot from Texture. So that's why they're playing so cautious. They don't have the gun advantage when you have a Spectre and a Bulldog. Wow, tether nade.
Achilles was talking about that on the desk and how it seemed like that needed to be a big part of their success on Lotus, and it hasn't really been much to speak of, to be honest.
And do you still opt to clear out that very, very close corner on Zekken after you use that? I guess somebody could have sneaked in.
This cross is crazy, but Saucy was the backup. He was the reinforcement. Some paranoia is out. It's going to tag up Zekken as well. It's just buying time. Wow! With the nade out, still manages to get one. But Karan on the equalizer. Zelsys now aggressive with the Spectre upgraded in the hands of Munchkin. Can he hold the line? Finding all 3!
Strike down A.
Meteor's Marshall finally besting him.
30 seconds left.
But he's now left in a 1v2, upgrading to a Vandal. No armor. Challenged in the smoke. Paranoia out, the spit goes through. Zekken has to take a step back. But with Zelsys and TenZ fighting over his shoulder, it's all safe.
1 enemy remaining.
Annihilated from the very beginning of the Sentinels are giving him a bit of their own medicine. Zelsys still with that Outlaw that you mentioned, has his ult to play around.
And just across the board, just very default stuff right now from Sentinels. Understanding they have the gun advantage. They don't want to give any picks. It's reminiscent of how they were approaching their attack sides. Playing very, very standard and safe.
Yeah, just tempered, I guess, a metered approach, if you will.
And maybe that's what the game plan was going into this matchup.
Sure.
Not giving that much away to Gen.G, not giving these 1v1 exchanges, not giving the contact approaches, fighting as a unit, using utility. Maybe that's the key. Maybe that was the game plan, the adaptation this time around.
It's a cheeky angle there. Zelsys is holding. If he does get threatened, he should be able to get away, unless he's completely overwhelmed.
This is going to be an A reclear fight, though. That's why you see TenZ out with that paranoia.
Yeah, I think it's just noise that Munchkin is making. And it's just enough of noise. It's just enough of a distraction.
30 seconds left.
Very nicely done by Gen.G, but Zelsys still holding the line on the other side. That's now 2 bodies found. The swing of the classic will not betray him.
Spike
Back-to-back
down.
3Ks for the Vibe Merchant himself.
He played that to near perfection.
I mean, he really did.
And now tether nade. I mean, yeah, the spike gets planted. Oh, it doesn't even get planted. Oh. But SEN, if they get confident, they can beat anybody in the world. That's why they're champions of their own right.
There's some safe pathing out from Texture at the beginning, but Karan was the one who walked away worse for wear. The door's tapped, the honk goes up, no target found, Saucy's dead.
Oh,
TenZ,
he's playing this crazy.
he slipped the net.
Oh my gosh.
The Fox is in the den and Meteor is dead. They've gotten the spike down, but they've got to realize there's a threat behind them, and it's a considerable one. The Paranoia is going to attack both. Karen's now dead. 2 members trapped in tree. Texture's the only one who's still playing backside. Nice shots out for Munchkin. Equalizing things at numbers. Zalsis with the lockdown. Gonna try to flush him out as Texture's dead. What do they have to go off this? They have to respect this. They have to give up the space. Nobody on the spike yet. Oh, he's got the line. He can hold him back from there. Zekin's the first to fall. Munchkin dealing with the aggression. Celsius will have to clutch this out on his own. A 1v2, Locky and Munchkin both still have ults to play around. And time's got to be so short.
One enemy remaining.
There's none left. Whew. Perfect. So Gen G, stay alive, get to 6. An op in the hands of Zekin, and an aggressive line taken with Zelsis close by.
And Gen G now have 4 ultimates of their own to work with. Meteor, he's creeping up slowly, 3 orbs until he gets his.
I think the question on my mind here is how far up do the rest of Sentinels go here? How far do they dare to challenge? How much space do they venture towards?
It's all a bait setup on C, but that deep alarm bot, that should be heard from Zalsis, I believe. But they're not reading into it. Last time around we saw Sentinels use that same alarm bot, they ended B.
They're committing to this.
Yeah, Showstopper committed.
The B side is empty, but they've popped the for 2 ults and the Paranoia out.
Oh. Zekin just stole that one away, opening the door himself.
The spike does go down, though. No ults on the side of Sentinels.
And that does Meteor fallen, so that gives Zalsis this timing.
The smoke keeping them apart. 2 targets found, only 1 claimed. Munchkin, who was so far up at the very beginning, still playing out towards stairs. 10's besting him. Numbers the way of the defense. And Ob still in the hands of Zekin. A difficult weapon to pull this off with.
He's got to be the one that gets on the spike, allow his teammates with the rifles.
I don't know if he has
to
the tools
stick
for this.
He's got to hit the shot here.
Aaron's the first to fall. Texture's by himself. Second hits the shot. The defuse comes through. Sentinels get to map point. Plenty to be found and figured out here, though. Gen G with 2 ults.
Oh, so much info gathered from that fade.
Beautiful eye out from Saucy. You're getting a little bit proactive here. The Prowler doesn't tag. Zekin doesn't either.
Yeah, and Zekin's going to have to move now. Get off of that B site. We saw them do this last time around against FPX. He takes a pick front B, goes towards stairs. He has the alarm bot there for protection.
And remember, Munchkin was right up on this in the previous round. The turret, the first thing that's cleared, you still have 2 mollies.
Such cool protocols right now from Sentinels. So many different layers to this approach.
Yeah, but I really like this from Gen G, though. I mean, they're methodically removing all of the traps and all of the little passive information gathering tools that Sentinels have.
Very high-level stuff right now. That's a free B site because of all that.
And yeah, it costs them a Paranoia, and yeah, it costs them a little bit of time, but they gladly give that up in exchange for the site.
Viper's Pit invested as well.
With a molly on it.
Yeah, exactly. Texture's going to play ahead of it. It's looking pretty good right now for Gen G. Sentinels. What kind of retake do they have cooked up?
Careful here on the crunch. Tens has a Paranoia. Karen's going to be the first to fall. The first smoke comes through, the tap of the door, and there's the flash. Is there anything behind it? Texture's the only one who I believe didn't get tagged, and he's still up on the pit, like you mentioned. Concealed in the green goo. The spam comes through. Meteor's dead. How much more can he find? Oh, no. Disaster again for Sentinels as Texture obliterates them. Yeah. The problem is for Gen G, they're going to have to do it again. The deficit that they're facing is so great. But Valorant can be a silly game at times.
The calling of Gen G has been really, really good so far on this attacking side.
Oh, they're investing heavy into this without real weaponry. Sheriffs and a judge. But they drop the lockdown, or excuse me, the Nightfall. Karen up close. The Paranoia's out. Karen's dead. So is Lakia. Texture and Munchkin, the only 2 that are up. The pit's been planted, but the guns are not great on the other side. Texture's gonna have to clutch again, and he does! Last round is often the hardest. And when you're playing against a team of Gen G's caliber, it makes sense.
A lot of Odin spam being done in tree. But Texture, oh my gosh, he's not slowing down.
With ult popped, the tether keeps him back. Zekin's got one of his own!
What?
But he's gonna have to use it in the next round if we get that far.
Doug,
I think they
Sentinels are crumbling.
I think they have to save here.
You have to.
Yeah.
But even the way these fights are going, it's so one-sided in the way of Gen G. They're decimating Sentinels in these last couple of rounds.
I'll find you.
Texture just decided to just wake up and go absolutely nuclear.
Poison's on.
Gen G with full momentum here. I was a little hesitant to say it in the previous round because, again, there was a lot. They still were a lot of ults on the side of Sentinels. They're still at 12. There's still a pretty big gap here, but I think we're watching every single brick of that wall fall.
And Doug, this is why Gen G are a championship level team. You can never count them out. They never give up. They're gonna fight till the very end.
I mean, almost everyone is here. Both Paranoia's traded. Texture's down. Raid box falls, and now the ult popped, but it looks like it's a little short. And so both teams refusing to relent on this area of the map. But Zekin looking to take us to Icebox. And barring a miracle for Meteor, that's exactly where we're headed. Gen G decided to take the fight where Sentinels have succeeded this entire half, and it was ill-advised.
Wow.
13-9 as Lotus goes the way of Sen City.
Wow, what a map so far. If this is what we have in store, this is insane.
Gen G fought back with ferocious attempts, but it wasn't enough to get him over the finish line. It wasn't enough to close the gap. Texture had heroic moments. Munchkin did too. But the guys on Sen City, they're starting to shoot back as well. We're in for a good one, folks. Icebox on the other side of this break. We'll be right back.